Welcome, amazing students. Today I'm going to share a fascinating story with you about a king who was granted a special power. This story has an important lesson about being careful about what you wish for. Let's begin. Uncover your eyes, shift your focus with the power of your eyebrows, and see your life as everything that it can be. Once upon a time, in a beautiful kingdom, there lived a king named Midas. King Midas was very rich. He owned many lands, large houses, and a great palace full of treasures. He had everything money could buy. But he was not happy. He always wanted more. No matter how much gold he had, it was never enough for him. He loved gold more than anything else in the world. Illicit cultist. He spent his days counting his gold coins, polishing his golden cups, and admiring the many golden statues in his palace. People from all over the kingdom would visit his palace to see his wealth, but King Midas was never satisfied. He dreamed of having even more gold, more than anyone had ever seen before. One day, as he sat in his beautiful garden thinking about his gold, he was visited by a fairy. The fairy appeared suddenly, her wings shimmering in the sunlight, and her voice was soft but strong. King Midas looked up, surprised to see the fairy standing in front of him. "King Midas," the fairy said, "I have heard about your wishes and your greed. I can grant you one special gift. You may ask for anything, and it shall be yours." King Midas could hardly believe his ears. A gift? From a fairy? He thought for a moment, his eyes shining with excitement. "I know what I want," he said quickly. "I want everything I touch to turn into gold. I want to be the richest man in the world. I want gold, gold, and more gold." The fairy smiled kindly but warned him, "Be careful what you wish for, King Midas. Gold may seem precious, but it is not the most important thing in life. Remember this before you make your wish." But King Midas was so excited that he did not listen to the fairy's words. "I am sure that this is the right wish," he said eagerly. "I want everything I touch to turn to gold." The fairy nodded, her eyes full of wisdom. "As you wish, King Midas. From now on, anything you touch will turn into gold." And with that, the fairy disappeared, leaving King Midas alone in his garden, excited and filled with greed. He quickly ran inside his palace, eager to test his new power. As he walked through the halls, King Midas touched the golden doors, and they turned into even brighter gold. He touched a table, and it became a solid block of gold. His excitement grew as he touched more and more things. He touched his golden chair, and it became even more golden. He couldn't believe it. Everything he touched was turning into gold, just as he had wished. King Midas laughed joyfully. "This is amazing. I will have all the gold in the world." He touched a vase full of flowers, and the flowers turned into solid gold. He touched a painting on the wall, and the painting became a golden frame. He even touched the walls, and they too turned into pure gold. But as the day went on, something strange began to happen. The more King Midas touched, the less he was able to enjoy the things around him. He walked into his garden and touched a beautiful rose. It turned into a golden statue, its petals hard and cold. He looked around at his beautiful flowers, but now they were all golden statues. His garden, which had once been full of life and color, was now a dull, lifeless place. King Midas sat down on his golden chair and thought about his wish. "This is wonderful," he thought, "but what have I done? My beautiful flowers, my trees, and my lovely garden are all gone. I didn't think about this before. I only wanted more gold." Suddenly King Midas heard a voice calling from the other room. It was his daughter, Princess Marigold. She ran into the room, excited to see her father. "Father, father, I missed you so much today," she said, running toward him with open arms. Without thinking, King Midas reached out to hug his daughter. But as soon as he touched her, something terrible happened. Princess Marigold turned into a golden statue just like the flowers and the trees. Her face was still smiling, but it was cold and lifeless. King Midas stepped back in shock, his heart sinking. "No, what have I done?" he cried. He rushed to his daughter, trying to shake her, but it was no use. She was a golden statue, and nothing he did could bring her back to life. King Midas fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. "What have I done?" he whispered again. "I wanted gold, but I didn't think about the things that truly matter. I didn't think about my family, my daughter, the love we share?" King Midas ran out of the palace, looking for the fairy who had granted him this power. He called her name, hoping she would appear. Finally, the fairy appeared before him, her wings glowing softly in the moonlight. "Fairy, please help me," King Midas begged. "Take this curse away. I did not understand what my wish would mean. I wanted gold, but now I see that it isn't worth anything without my daughter, without love, without the simple joys of life. Please, undo my wish. I would give up all the gold in the world to hold my daughter again." The fairy looked at King Midas with kind eyes. "King Midas," she said softly, "you were granted the power you asked for, but you did not understand the consequences of your wish. Gold is valuable, yes, but it is not the most important thing in life. Love, family, and happiness are the true treasures of the world." The fairy smiled gently and said, "I will grant your wish to undo the golden touch, but remember this lesson and never forget what really matters." With a wave of her hand, the fairy lifted the curse. The golden statue of Princess Marigold began to glow, and soon she was alive again. King Midas hugged her tightly, tears of happiness falling from his eyes. The golden statues around the palace melted away, and the flowers, trees, and garden returned to their former beauty. The air smelled sweet again, and the sun shone brightly. King Midas looked around at his beautiful kingdom, and for the first time he saw it with new eyes. He had everything he needed: his daughter, his family, his health, and his happiness. Gold no longer mattered to him. He had learned a valuable lesson, that love and family are far more important than wealth. He promised to be a kinder, wiser king from that day on. The moral of this story is that wealth and material things are not the most important parts of life. Love, family, and happiness are what truly matter. Be careful what you wish for, because sometimes what we think we want may not be what we really need. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story of King Midas and the Golden Touch. Remember, true happiness comes from the people we love and the simple things in life, not from gold or wealth. If you liked this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Keep practicing your English, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay happy.